Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm back here at my shop trailer to finish up the front suspension on the Dakota. In the previous video, I removed my strut assembly and I took it apart and I found that my upper strut mount was destroyed and I had to get another one. Well, since then I've gotten it and I've gotten the strut assembly all put back together and I'm here to install it back into the Dodge. I'm also going to be doing the sway bar links and the lower strut bushing on the lower control arm. I have a clip of me replacing the strut assembly on base at our automotive hobby shop, and I'm going to cut to that clip here in a second. But for now, I'm going to go into the trailer and I'm going to start clearing stuff out of here and get ready to do all the work on the Dodge. While I'm doing that, you guys check out this clip of me on base replacing the strut using their spring compressors, and then I'll catch it back up with you guys when I'm ready to install it. Hey, what's up everybody? Today's Friday. I'm here at the automotive hobby shop on base and I'm going to be finishing up the strut that I was doing in the last video, and I'll be showing you guys the wall mounted spring compressor that I showed you. So it might be a little loud in there, it might be a little busy. I don't know how much talking I'll do while I'm doing it. It should be pretty quick, but I'm going to try to get in there and get it done and get out of here so I can get home. Alright, so I don't know if you can see that, but there's actually two different spring compressors they have here. This one's a floor, just resting on the floor, and then this is the wall mount that I was referring to. So I'm going to use this one right here. It shouldn't take me very long. So I'm going to get this guy set up right here. So once I get this all set up, I'll show you what I'm doing. So you can see these little feet right here grab, and then these nuts lock it in, and this all moves. It's pretty well adjustable. Make sure it's in there nice and sturdy. Put you back up here real quick. This makes it really fast and easy. So as you can see here, this goes all the way down, but this isn't all the way seated yet, so hopefully when I let the spring go, it'll settle in. I'll do that right now. There it went. And there we go. Done. Alright guys, here we go. I got everything out of the trailer and out of the way, and I've got the truck all set up and ready to go. So real quick, I'm going to go over what's going to happen here. I'm going to try to pull this bushing out of the lower control arm. I have a ball joint remover. This is to remove ball joints out of well, basically out of anything, but anyways, I got this ball joint remover that I'm going to try to remove this bushing with. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to accomplish it or not. If for some reason I can't get the bushing out, I'll probably end up just leaving it like it is. And then I'm going to be installing the sway bar links here, just like that, in between there. I'm going to put in the strut assembly, get the truck all back together, and that's going to be it for today. I'll show you what I got here. This is the new bushing that I'm going to be installing. This is the strut assembly. I have one issue with the strut assembly. When I put it together on base, I didn't clock this in the right direction. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get this into the truck, and I'm going to have to put something in the lower mount there to kind of twist it so it lines up properly. Now, that's not the proper way to do it. I should have lined it up correctly before I put it together, but it is what it is, and that's what I'm going to have to do. I made the same mistake when I did the one out in the desert, and we were able to twist it and get it back in the right place. I think if I have more time today, which I should, this shouldn't take very long, I'm going to remove this condenser here. I would like I said, if I have time, I would like to clean this up a little bit. I need to do something with, this is the Can-Am stereo system that I installed. It's zip tied to the body here. I would like I said, if I can, to make this a little bit better, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. If I don't have time, I don't have time. I'm not, whatever. So we got the strut assembly, we got the sway bar links, we got the bushing, potentially some interior work if I get time, the condenser. This might need to be tightened up. Maybe I'll work on that. All right, here we go. It's not going to work. The only way for me to do this properly is to take off this control arm and put it in the press. And if I do that, I'm going to knock these cam bolts out of alignment, and that's going to really screw me up and eat up a lot of my time today. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to install it the way it is, because I still have enough clearance past this metal. And then in the future, when I get another opportunity, I'll take this control arm out. But that's not going to happen right now. it's too much of a risk. If I get this thing disassembled to a point where I can't put it back together, then that totally cancels my desert trip. And I'd rather go to the desert on crappy bushing than not go. So I'm going to install the strut the way it is, and I'll deal with the rest of the problems later. But I have that bushing for the future. So let's do that. There's no way that this C-clamp is going to do it. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys what I was talking about this upper strut mount not being clocked in the right direction. So if you see these three studs, they're not an equilateral triangle. This stud here is spaced evenly further apart than these two are apart. So this upper strut mount, these studs have to go in this specific orientation. But if you notice, I've situated it a way where this no longer lines up. So now what I have to do is I have to take something like this pickle fork, and I have to rotate it. And it's in there pretty tight, but there should be enough room for it to slip. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Like I said, we had to do this last time. And it's not really the way you want to do it. You want to get it right the first time, but whatever, it is what it is. No, it doesn't want to turn. One thing you can do, again, not a recommended way to use your tools, but you can see I already have this bend here. Do it like this, put a wrench on it, and now you've got an extra 1.5 feet or whatever that is. And that's almost right. And that should be good enough to get it through. There we go. Good enough. put some torque on this guy. Yep, that's good enough. I'll show you what I'm talking about with the clearance. So now that it is in there, you can see right here, I just barely have enough clearance to where that mushed up metal isn't going to contact that tab of that shock. So strut is in there. That's how you do that. Now I'm going to put the I'm going to drill this hole out, and I'm going to put the sway bar link on there, put this guy on there, button her all up, and set her back down on the ground. And hopefully, so I have that back ramp open, so hopefully there's more light than there was last time. I noticed when I was watching that video that it was really dark, and I apologize for that. Let's drill that hole out. Ooh, that's perfect. I don't know how I did that, but I perfectly guessed that size. That's a 1/2 inch. So this 1/2 inch just perfectly fits in the bottom there where it's not messed up, but it won't come out the top. Right here, that metal is kind of mushroomed down, and it's preventing it to go through. The sway bar links will actually go through that hole, but I don't want that rubbing up against the threads of that link. So I'm gonna drill it out. And this is some cheap, it's dull, it's cheap. I don't know how well it'll cut, but since most of that hole is already good, it should power through it. You see? There you go. It's perfect. So I'm going to do, so this has to be connected to here before the sway bar can go on. So I'm going to put this upper ball joint in, and then this tie rod in, and then I'm going to connect the sway bar. So that's that. That's all together. Now I'm going to put this guy in. And I also have to do it on the other side. So I'm going to show you guys. So these rubber bushings here are going to have to go on either side of this actual sway bar. So you can see how both sides are kind of concaved. That's for these bushings to sit in there just like that. And then that's flat. That surface is flat, so that goes in there just like that. So that's what we're doing now. All right, so this side's all done. Sway bar link installed. That's about as tight as I want to get it. You can see these rubber bushings kind of trying to squeeze out. I don't want to mess those up, so I'm just going to leave it that tight. This is tight, this is tight. Now what I got to do is I got to put this brake rotor on, the brake caliper, put the wheel on, and then I'm done with this side. Be a little better. Another thing, you got to put your caliper back on. Make sure you don't twist this over too much one way or the other. You want to go right back the way it was. Check in here, make sure nothing went loose or is missing while you were gone. These brakes are not that great, but they're all right. I still got some life left on them. I've had these pads and rotors on here for a while. Oh no. All right, so that lower ball joint is bad. Now, with the ball joint connected tight to the control or the spindle and the control arm, these two pieces shouldn't be able to move independently. So there's play right here. That means that that lower ball joint is gone. That'll be good enough for now. Now I'm gonna get the jack out of there, and I'll torque it down while there's traction on the tire. So I need this to come up enough to where I can push this up. So there. So now it's unlocked and I can drop it. Again, keep your fingers out of it. I'm just going to put enough weight on it to keep the traction on the tire, and I'm going to cinch down the lug nuts. I'm actually going to show you guys a trick real quick. I'm going to show you how to easily check your ball joints. So I'll lift this back up real quick. So that should be enough room right there. Now you can get a crowbar, which that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, your crowbar doesn't have to be as long as this one to do this test, but it does help. So, I want you guys to look at the movement of the wheel. And you would see this from a different perspective if you were testing it yourself. But really, it's a feel, not necessarily a sight thing. You can feel the play in the joint when you do it. But I'm using this crowbar as leverage to see if there's play here. So, watch here. You do not want that movement. And I'll bring you in closer. This movement right here. That's not good. That's a loose ball joint. And you can test that with the wheel still on the vehicle. So now that that's done, I'm gonna get that other tie rod done. Or not tie rod, sway bar link. And that'll be it for the suspension for today. So I should have left that other side loose so that I can move this out of the way. But I didn't. And now I just got to deal with it. So I'm going to put this right here. Come on, buddy. Put this right here.
And I'm just gonna have to pry on that sway bar until I get it cleared. I don't know if I'll get the clearance that I need. Hopefully it doesn't slip out. Yeah, you could really hurt yourself doing that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop it off the other side. And just to try and make sure that I don't have the same problem with the other side, I left that nut on to keep it from coming all the way off. Come on, buddy. There we go. There. Put this guy here. Let me tighten that guy down real quick. All right, so that's all done. Now, oh man, that's way out of line too. Yep, that alignment is messed up. But for the first time in a long time, I've got two good, sturdy shocks on there. Probably the first time in a couple of years that both shocks have been in good shape. Sway bar links are in there. She's ready to go play. She's sitting even again. That's been a while. And that's it as far as the suspension goes. Now I'm gonna try to get this I'm gonna get this condenser out. After I get this condenser done, I'll reevaluate some things, figure out if there's anything else I want to do. And I might be done for the day. It's 2:30. It's not that bad. I gotta clean up. I made a huge mess in here I gotta fix. I'm probably not gonna bore you guys with the whole cleaning time lapse. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. That air filter's clogged up. Watch right here when I rev it. Oh wow. Alright, so new air filter. These are cheap. The old Spectra. She can breathe now.